Hey, what's up, everyone? So this is the Weebs Guild here, and we're doing another Bleach Boys. I know we took a break last week, and we killed off Sam in the meantime. So
what happened is when you go too hard at Bleach Brave Souls and you don't get what you want, you just kind of like chug energy drinks until your heart stops and dies. But you're okay. Don't worry. We'll resurrect him. We'll find the Dragon Balls. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, he's buried in the outside in the backyard right now. So it's kind of what he wanted. It's what he would have wanted.
It's what he would have wanted. Call back, shout out.
So we did episodes 332 to 336, and
in the words of Sam, my God.
Well, so the first two, 1.5 were kind of mediocre. Like, it was the REGAI bullshit arc where it was just like, yeah, we just put the random fucking captains in here. Now they have their limiters off, all this bullshit.
There wasn't much to say because it starts off with Ikaku getting his ass beat,
which was like fucking classic.
Yeah.
Like, there was no way he was going to win that, right?
And then no, not at all. It's against his captain, and then we have the girl coming in, and she's got Jushiro's fucking
yeah, pretty much
yeah.
But turns it into energy, so it's different, and it's not the same as Hanatero's either.
No, I did say it was, but she can absorb everything.
Same, but different.
Yeah, exactly. Just copy.
Exactly.
Just different.
Which apparently that's not enough to kill Kenpachi, even though it was Kenpachi that did the thing. So wait, no, it wasn't Kenpachi's. It was Ichigo's Bankai Getsuga.
Yeah, that's what did it.
But so we got that, and then I was so surprised that they were so bold to say that Yumi Chika could fucking take on Kenpachi.
What the fuck does he think he
right
is?
After, so not only does he not use his original fucking Shikai, like he does the fucking blades. And Ikaku got fucking floored. Like, not even a question, he got floored.
But I know those two are bros.
They're bros. I get it.
All right, so Josh, you and Sam, you're strolling along. Big, gigantic, Dwayne The Rock Johnson beats Sam down.
Okay.
Are you fighting? Are you stepping in?
Well, Dwayne The Rock Johnson would have to be my father at that point to kind of go with canon. I wouldn't want to fight my father. I would try to, like, amicably talk about it. So
just hit him in the back.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I've done that. So we got to find his weak point.
Exactly.
Which I don't think Kenpachi had. So, and another thing, they're super aggressive REGAI, right?
So they're supposed to be, right? Remember with the Hitsugaya, all he wanted to do was attack. But then all of a sudden, skip forward, and he's just like, wait, something's off here.
They randomly switch. So this is what's wrong with the arc is they took writing classes and said, you know what? I don't need those. I don't fucking need those at all. We can make up whatever the fuck we want. And we can have characters be super aggressive. We can have them be logical. And then they're aggressive again. Kenpachi has his fucking eye patch on the whole time. Like, I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
He didn't even rip it off.
And then, so that's all fine and good. All this dumb shit, which we're kind of accustomed to at this point. And then they decide to, besides the Yumichika dumb shit, they're just like, let's double down. The girl everyone is trying to capture is now going to fucking go and play hopscotch.
I thought that was kind of funny.
Team.
I was like, why is she doing that though? And then again, we get that, I just want to save everybody. No, bitch, we're trying to save you.
Yeah, it's like, I would be so fucking mad. And then
Even
that's how
Ichigo
I get glaxed.
says it. Yeah.
Yes. And finally, Ichigo's actually being like pretty reasonable. Most of the time, it's kind of like he forces himself, like in the second movie where he just shoehorns himself
like,
in there.
Let me help you all out.
He's the guy that's like the main culprit for always not fucking standing in the background and fucking joining in and ruining something. So what happens from there? We get them fucking doing that shit. She sees everyone gets fucking decked.
And then old man comes in.
Old man Yamamoto.
Old man comes in and he stops Byakuya, I think.
Yeah, so they did the fucking, what everyone was expecting them to do, just spirit bomb into Nozomi and then just have her, I guess... What the fuck did she do? It just blew up the whole area.
What was the thing with him? The villain can copy moves, right? So he's like, I'm going to copy the girls.
Reverse time. But then, this is when they're fighting Yamamoto.
Yeah. And then so he copies hers, absorbs the power, shoots it back, and then is like, oh, but now mine is stronger because it's got Ichigo's in it too.
So, okay. We're skipping a little bit because that was one of the it was kind of sad that Sam wasn't here because it was one of the coolest fucking combo attacks I've ever seen.
The best animated ones.
It was best animated. I mean, normally we get like single person fights, and it was Yamamoto finally admitting like, oh hey, Nozomi, like here's my power, do something cool with it.
And then he's just like, you're a chick. I'll let you go by, kind of thing. A little sexist, but it's all good.
It was a good scene. Like it was. So at that point is when they decided, oh shit, we took writing classes, we should actually follow this. Like they did.
The one guy showed up and he's just like, hey guys, I graduated.
They did really well. Like the animation just upped the ante really quick. Yamamoto was doing fucking dope shit and he was playing the game. Nozomi fucking gets her her Shikai broken.
Just shattered because it couldn't take that much power. But doesn't she like spirit bomb?
She spirit bombs. So apparently Yamamoto and Getsuga are more powerful than Getsuga and all the B team.
Getsuga Bankai.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
because he does go Bankai for a last minute ditch, which I just the whole fucking fight was cool. Like it was just a 3-part like 3-prong attack, super dope. But I liked how Yamamoto like pulls her out of the way and then proceeds to yeet. Not only shoot back at what was supposed to be his attack and Ichigo's attack combined, he then blows that attack apart.
But, and I'm gonna be Sam, knowing what we know now, he should have easily been able to do that.
Yeah. So I feel like this whole arc, Sam was right, where they were using stuff that we already knew, and then because we know about Thousand Year Blood Work, it's like, why is no one trying?
Exactly.
And the worst part to me is, so Yamamoto gets decked, and
everyone
like
down on the ground.
He's fucked up. It's like, okay, that's kind of fair. He got hit by his own attack. Like he's the only one that could have done that. But he's like full out. Like he can barely stand out. And this fucking dude stands up. And I have a big issue with that because we just had Aizen. So we had the greatest villain.
Yeah, it's just like it's so hard to follow up someone who's already fleshed out and then have like, hey, you have, what was it, like 30, 40 episodes? No, 60,
We've
right?
had like 20 plus episodes on this one so far.
So however long this arc is, they have to create a villain and then make him powerful just like Aizen.
But we know his fucking weaknesses. We know how his abilities works. Yamamoto was clearly going to fucking win that. But for some stupid ass reason, like a 3-prong attack that should have killed this guy. He should not have fucking lived through this. He's able to stand up, which Yamamoto cannot. And he's basically able to do everything that Aizen couldn't.
Plot armor
without
is
any
amazing.
of the years of plan. Like he did years of planning. We'll get to that later. But it just doesn't make, like, I get Ichigo's in a weakened state and all that stuff, but the only thing he didn't do was get holified.
Exactly.
So he's either got to be weaker than Aizen, so he's not even a fucking plot point, like no one cares, or he's got to be so bonkers strong that Aizen has no fucking, like, it's just impossible. They fuck themselves.
Yeah, you can't follow up with that. I mean, even getting the Fullbring arc coming up isn't going to be that great, and everyone shits on that.
It's like what Sam would probably, rest in peace, man. But it's like Boruto. You have literal fucking gods fighting each other at one point, and then you're just like, hey, you want to have kids fight? We'll make it seem actually interesting, and it's like you can't.
It's super difficult to follow up.
And so they got to knock out Yamamoto. They got to knock out Ichigo.
What they say immediately, like, oh, I try to heal him, but he's not gonna get back up. I'm like, okay.
Everyone. So we have literally time-bending reject existence girl, and it's like, you know what? Her healing ability takes either between 5 fucking seconds and 3 years.
Yeah.
Like I just don't get her fucking ability. It's written.
Or Orihime, she tried to help.
Yeah.
But tried.
And then so we have all this. Everyone kind of apparently they go back to the Soul Society.
So remember
How
what
did that
happens.
happen?
What happens is he does a shadow clone when Ichigo goes and uses his other Getsuga. He's like, oh, this is the last one. Then poof, turns into white.
Yeah. So this guy can make his own fucking clones. And it was like a lame fucking situation because what was it? He falls off a cliff.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, I've fallen.
And then he meets back up with them, gets Getsuga to the face, and says, oh no, my sword, it's not here. Only to realize that it was a fucking shit ass clone that didn't know he was a clone.
I feel like if that happened, I'm like, he's not that strong without his sword. I would just go on over there and pummel him.
Exactly. It was like, oh wow, they actually. Like, it didn't make sense that he didn't have a sword, and then they're like, oh no, I can make clones. I'm also like Hitsugaya. But it's like...
Ice clone, bitch.
But it's something he's never done before. It didn't even hint that he could do. He just makes this shit up.
Yeah, and then he just picks up the girl, and he's just like, all right, we're going to become one.
Yeah, we get like the whole plot reveal that they're basically the same person. They're split in half, and it's kind of alluding to the dude that's been comatose. Is like the real version.
The real version of them, yeah.
And what's weird to me is we just randomly all the people that got fucked up, like everyone in the squads, all got fucked up. They all went up against captains. They had no fucking good footing. It was just bad. They all somehow appear in the Seirete.
Yeah, at the end, right?
They're all getting healed by Urahara and her team, but we're still under siege in the Seirete, and we still have fucking Reigai running around. And
Yoroichi running around.
Yeah, okay. She just gets written in when they want to fucking show up with the other captains.
One of the best girls, dude.
Seriously, but I don't. How did they couldn't go to the Seirete because they had to stay in the world of the living because they were getting glacked over there.
They summoned God Orihime.
Okay, and they just fucking, you know what? We're just gonna have an encampment. It's gonna be right out in the open.
Here's my thing too with it is like Urahara has the cloak. Apparently, he can't be detected when he wears it. Do you think he sneaks into Soul Society often?
I think he's got his little play date, so he just shows up.
Like he just shows up and he's just like, oh, buddy, you fell asleep at your desk.
I'm talking just like the squad members, like the ones that they go back and Unohana.
Yeah,
is like
and everybody's there.
They're in the Seirete, like nothing fucking happened.
That's how we end it because in between that and that, there's a lot of going back and forth. Ichigo, you lost your powers. Here, I can get them back for you.
So we get white Ichigo in a Shinigami cloak, which is kind of wild. That's like, is he gonna be like white Ichigo, like Ichigo?
No, and immediately he's like, oh, my hollow powers are just gone now.
And then
that's the reason why he can't create a Reigai for Ichigo.
Oh, because he's got hollow powers and he can't recreate that. But then Urahara. So again, this is what's so fucking weird about this arc. They just decide to finally start writing shit. Like they legitimately write in Urahara, who could have been in all these fights prior to.
Because keep in mind, Urahara throughout this whole time is quiet, kind of like a little.
He's
so
Batman,
off. He's just like,
but he's playing Wilfred. He's like, he's literally just in the background helping people. And the other weird fucking thing is, as soon as Ichigo loses powers, we're at Urahara's shop, and it's like everything's cool. The animation goes to fucking Naruto.
They're just like
everything's like really well drawn. It's got this like high frame rate shit.
I think the reason they did that though was because he goes back into the precipice world.
Oh,
and he gets swallowed by the cleaner.
Yeah. So they're trying to get Ichigo's powers back because apparently if you get swallowed by the cleaner, you don't actually die. You just lose your fucking powers, which is weird. Apparently the cleaner's not all that fucking scary anymore, and then your powers...
Well, not since Aizen blows it up.
I just don't... There's too
many plot holes going on.
I'm saying that they got better at writing, but even if they had to make jokes about their writing, saying we don't know how to fucking explain it any better. This is what it works in our head. Our characters are even saying this is too much for us. Just please go with the flow. For the love of God, stop pointing holes. Like
Ichigo going like too much for me. I just get me in, get me out.
And Ichigo can go in there, fucking grab a copy of himself from a different timeline, which they say, oh, that explains all the other things.
I think that happened in the beginning.
Yeah,
he's like, someone pulled me out or something.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Goes full circle.
So there was so what Jose's talking about is there's a couple episodes ago where Ichigo has been glacked. He got glacked by the cleaner.
Yeah. And he gets brought back somehow.
He sees a person standing and we're like, oh, who the fuck is that? And it turns out to be Ichigo from the future.
I mean, wouldn't you want to save yourself too, Josh? Or is two of you too much?
That fucking makes sense. Thank you for that. I would have never fucking got that in my entire life. They breezed right past that.
It's because they're like, no one's paying attention. Let's just go.
They just fucking made shit up.
So if you could save yourself, would you?
Or
is two of you too much?
Two of me is too much. I wouldn't think of it as two of me is too much. It's more, oh, this is me. I should probably grab that. I don't know. It's one of those. You should take this. You might use it.
Am I dead?
I don't fucking know. He's just floating like a surfboard in the fucking ocean, and Ichigo's just like, cool, I'm going to grab that. I have no reason to, but we're just going to grab that. And so we get back. The whole thing they're trying to do is apparently not just grab his powers. Apparently, because he's lost all his powers, he can grab his powers from the cleaner and then go back into the Seirete, break into the Department of Research and Development, which is where all the bad guys are. And literally still, the Seirete is still under fucking siege by all the Reigai. Have no fucking clue how this is just okay.
Because no one else has noticed.
And they go in. Then, of course, the funniest fucking thing, they use the B team as a distraction and then literally...
Against Kenpachi
and Hitsugaya.
Well, Hitsugaya, but...
But they literally show up, Kenpachi goes into the fucking precipice world, goes to fight the B team, and then they're like, we've done enough.
I'm surprised Renji didn't die from that first attack.
He
was just like, holy shit.
So they had B team all ready to like glack up on Kenpachi, and it's just Renji standing out there getting fucking swapped at, and then it's like, haha, Renji did that smirk where it's like, oh,
and
you're
then
about
this
to
is
get
where it
glacked.
happens. Hitsugaya gets smart again. All of a sudden, he's just like, oh, it's a diversion. Let's get the hell out of here, buddy.
We get no aggression whatsoever.
I'm surprised Kenpachi listened, though.
Yeah, what the fuck? It's stupid. But this is still the best writing that they've done this whole arc, and that's what's frustrating. And so, because of B-Team's noble sacrifice of literally doing fuck all nothing, Ichigo and Urahara are able to get in. They get all the shit. Ichigo gets a undeveloped soul candy.
So how do Urahara describes it is that he basically injects
his
soul candy with Ichigo's spiritual pressure,
but it won't copy his hollow
Mhm.
stuff.
It won't copy the hollow, but he's able to take it and then fuse it with his soul. But because he isn't a REGAI, it could have consequences.
And it was also that what's the fucking bad guy's name? The spinny dude, Time Man, Green Yellow Man. He saw this coming.
Yeah,
and
so he knew. Somehow he fucking knew and created a plan, and my bae almost caught it multiple times.
Yep. And then fucking Ichigo somehow in the midst of a mid-explosion is able to, oh, shit, you know what? I just saw my soul candy pop off.
That's just fucking funny, though. He walks in, he goes, smash, grab, chug.
Eat. And then his hollow powers are now resurrecting. So why is
I don't think it's his hollow powers.
Well, no, they were saying his hollow powers were going wild. That's why he's got like one eye black.
Oh,
and then Ichigo's like, oh, he's going to take control. Why the fuck are we worried about that? Ichigo with hollow powers is just as OP. Like, he doesn't need his Soul Reaper powers. He could literally just be a hollow. I'm curious.
But, his Soul Reaper powers are attached to his hollow powers.
That's what I was going to say. I think it's literally that fucking Ichigo cannot have hollow powers unless he has Soul Reaper powers.
Yep.
But he has hollow powers the whole fucking time. They just need a Soul Reaper power to go off of.
It'd be cool if when he put the mask on, he had like one horn.
Just
like he usually does, or like Zangetsu does.
Or like True Bankai.
With the horn.
That would be fucking great. But we don't get any of that. We get them running away, and then Urahara tries to take a fucking line out of Byakuya's book, and he's like, I will 1v fucking 10 all the REGAI captains.
Do you think he could actually take them
I
on?
was hoping he would try. Like, I thought, he's the one guy I would think he could do some fucking damage.
Yoruichi did it for a bit.
She did, but that was when they were like, they had the class
they
on, they were like
thingies.
lords, but they're all fucking hyper aggressive, like roid out versions of themselves. And I was like, this is going to be kind of cool. I want to see what they do, because this is the first time they wrote Urahara into something that wasn't like just kind of like we knew he was.
But remember that the time is different going through the precipice world, so it might have been a couple of days, and everybody's like, "Oh, look, I took some aspirin, I'm good to go." So that's when they get surrounded by the REGAIs, and everyone else comes around.
And then we get Yoruichi showing up, which is sign that the resistance is back in town.
The revolution has begun.
Apparently, all the captains who were damaged in the last fight are good. Oh wait, no, they were fucked up in the original captain's fight back in the Seirete.
Yeah.
And they were basically like when they found out that the REGAI were being
like
limited.
Kenpachi came back,
Everyone
came
back.
The whole team is back.
They all come back, and it's now Yoruichi, Urahara, and all the captains versus the hyper captains. And I'm curious what they're gonna do with that. That could be really fucking cool. I did laugh when Yoruichi was like, now the real fight begins. It's like as if anything prior to this was a real fucking fight. It's just really dumb.
What did we get to see? We got to see Chad beat up Komamura.
Oh, yeah. He got one punch in, which I think Chad is the prime candidate to literally nut punch Komamura from the fucking...
It would be perfect. Can you imagine?
360 no-scope his nuts and drop that fucking dog, dude. Like, why are we not thinking with our brain? We're not thinking with lasers and portals.
Dude, I wish, dude. I was just watching The Boys when they pick up the baby.
Oh, yeah. We're not thinking. We're not thinking.
They're just not. They're not doing a good job, right? That's where the writing wasn't there. Remember, the writing gets better,
and they just randomly It was so weird because it didn't just. It was the writing started getting better. Like obviously it was still confusing as fuck, but it was making more sense. They also started doing like Naruto style animation where they just had like that super flowy like when they do the fights.
Yeah.
But for just still animations, just talking. And then they made every scene feel like a goddamn drama. Like, I thought I was watching 24 when Urahara was now hacking. They literally
I learned what you call hacking.
Yes, it's like, wow. And then Ichigo's like, what? You're hacking? What is that? Kind of like, again, this is what I'm saying. This is the best writing they've had for this arc.
I mean, it was all right.
It was better than all the shit before. They, like... all the fights with all the captains versus the lieutenants.
Yeah, my thing is like it's just they could have done it so much better. They could have picked different matches. Everything. It's not that good.
I think it's one of those like comic book situations where they've written themselves into a hole because so many people have so many different powers that they literally counterpoint all things. Like Nozomi having that fucking energy blast thing.
That's
at
just
one
cheap.
point when they did the fucking spirit bomb shit. They give her all her power. All the people that don't have like reishi based attacks where it's just swinging of a sword.
So is the sword supposed to catch the powers? Like,
so
how does that work?
Because
she had her
what's
back to
his
some
face?
people.
Kiraku. He was fighting and he realized her power. So if he hits her, like if I do this, it's a
It touches
motion
the sword.
transfer. It pulls his spirit energy, which is kind of different than anything they talked about.
So does
her having
everyone have
before.
to aim at the sword?
So basically, they have to wail on her, just beat the ever-loving fuck out of her
Could
sword.
you imagine if it was her body that has to take the damage and everyone's just like,
Oh, it would be Fat Gum, but like a little tiny girl.
Oh my god!
but,
And she's just like gets all.
but it would be like watching the Fat Gum fight and then not knowing if it's gonna turn into the Fat Gum fight. Just literally a 13-year-old. That's what I'm assuming. She's probably like 16-ish looking in that body, just getting beat the fuck up in a corner.
16-ish looking.
And they're like, I think that was the play, and then she's just bleeding out dead. And like, no, you were supposed to hit me with Reishi. Like it was. Oops. We didn't know.
What if your powers were punching? Like Yuji.
Komamura has literally a Bonkai that is massive as fuck, made of Reishi. Why didn't she just fucking do a Wabisuke and just go, let me tap that shit, it's gone?
Oh, can you imagine her trying to suck that thing up? It'd be like Ghostbusters, like, oh.
She can suck up whatever the fuck she wants. It's a sword hit. She could literally walk up to Komamura and just smack
Touch
me,
his
bro.
toe.
Yes, and just suck the whole thing up. We're
So what
going
you're saying
back
is
to
she sucks.
We're going back to the fact that he sucks because he's a literal shit ass captain. Anyway,
Yeah.
so okay, we're in the middle of all the captains showing. Oh, that's
the end. Because
oh my god,
a lot of it was talk.
drama. Literally, if they could have put the 24-hour clock for this, it would have been perfect.
It was a lot of talk with Ichigo being like, hey guys, I lost my Soul Reaper powers. Wait, I can see you? What?
Yeah. Oh, it was so. They just made shit up, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, we're in our fucking.
But they don't even. I don't think they do that during Fullbring, which to me it doesn't really make any sense afterwards. Because it's like if Ruki and Renji did miss him and wanted to see him, they could just Gigai and be like, hey, what up, dude?
I just. Like, it's literally like the whole fucking beginning half of the show. I don't understand why this is news to people. Like, it seems like they forget that they wrote shit.
Yeah, but it's a filler, so I get it. It's not supposed to really do anything.
I think this is what's happening, and this is going to be a little insensitive, so I apologize. But
He's
I
not
think
gonna
the head
apologize.
writer has Alzheimer's. And what's happening, because what my main point is when fucking head captain Yamamoto shows up in Galax Byakuya,
Yep.
the first two captains that show up are Ukitake and Kiraku.
Yep.
And he says the exact fucking same phrase, and they say the exact same phrases back to him as the first time they met in the Seirete when they tried to kill him. The literally almost fucking verbatim. I'm like, this was not even 10 episodes ago.
Well, a lot of anime do that where they just recycle it.
No, but that's like in the same episode. It's like, oh, let me hit you with the attack. Like fucking, let's roar.
Early Bleach. Yeah.
Yes, because that's an animation budget. But apparently they had a fuck ton of money now. But it's not even an animation thing. They had to make these actors say the same lines again.
Different tones.
But it's like, hey, we killed you last time. Oh, you brats, you really do look like my students. It's a shame you're still brats. Like, you said these lines. Literally. It's not even 30, 40 episodes. It's like 10 fucking episodes at most. At most. It don't make sense. And then they forgot they took the classes for writing, and then just randomly they decide, oh shit, we're all actually good artists, and we're actually good writers at some points.
Because I think they did a good number with Urahara.
Yeah.
Like towards the end now. And then Kon, he just annoys me at this point. He's just annoying.
I get it,
He's
though.
being, like, I get it. This arc is, like, involving him more and giving him a little bit more.
Souls.
But it's just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I could care less. Like, let's just move on.
Part of me is like, okay, we've got Urahara, who's literally Batman.
Mm-hmm.
We finally started writing him into the story.
If he's the Batman, who's the Superman?
Yamamoto, fucking Ichigo. I don't know. Like, it's Aizen. Fuck, dude.
Dude, yeah,
literally
God. You mean God?
Anybody that's fought Aizen or is Aizen can literally take the Superman title, I think. Because he's more dark side, I think, at this point, because he fucking can't die.
He's evil Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we have, we're finally writing Urahara in, and he's got his cloak. They're about to go into the Seirete. Kon forces himself into the group. Everyone gives him the pity, like, you're going to do great, kid. Why the fuck does Urahara not have, like, a Gigai for him or some fucking mecha? I want to see some wild shit.
You've never seen his 1,000-Year Blood War look, right?
Urahara?
No, Kon.
No. So, okay, I don't even care if they, like, wrote it and then 1,000-Year Blood War was like, oh, that was pretty dope. We should copy that. Literally just give Kon something.
I don't think 1,000-Year Blood War was out by then.
No, probably not.
I don't think so. I think it's
because we had all the Fullbring to go, and that was like 20, 30 episodes.
Fullbring is tiny, and it's just like, eh.
I feel like they add this is such a weird thing. Like in normal fillers, Sam will say it's like you can't do anything of meaning. This felt like there was slight tension, like there might actually be something that could happen where like nothing, like no one's gonna die.
I just feel like they don't know what they're doing at this point, and it's just like they didn't have anything to work off just because it got so close to the actual manga at this point. And Kubo was kind of like struggling to even finish it towards the end.
But I don't know how much he had involvement. Like we brought it up before, like where the fucking Vizards were. Like there's so many people they could have used and they just didn't. And it's not even for like
Ishin.
They had they literally have Mayuri and Kenpachi still in it. Like that's other Batman and fucking Superman.
Yeah, there you go, Batman and Superman. Yeah,
those are like the Psycho Rangers. They're still there. But they use them as plot devices, and it's just it's really fucking strange. But this is like the first time I felt like there's some level of like, because Ichigo's powers are unstable now because he ate the soul candy too early. I just feel like there might be something on the table.
Everyone does say it does get better, and I think you are right though, where the writing finally picks up a little bit. The pace is starting to move.
It's like the opposite of the Soul or the Zanpakuto Rebellion arc, where it was super fucking cool,
great at the beginning, and then it's just like, just take a shit.
It's like they threw the football or kicked the football, whatever euphemism you want to use, and it was 10 yards from the line, and Zanpakuto Rebellion arc, they fucking tried to putt it, whereas
now golf.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah. And now we've been putting it the whole time, and then they just start fucking swinging, and you're just like, oh, I wasn't ready for that. Are you actually trying? You actually showed up today. It's a shame that Sam is dead, because these were actually the best animated and the best like thought process. Well, I mean,
we still got the rest of it to go.
So far, yeah. So maybe, if we get the technology, if we go and break into the Department of Research and Development and then get Sam back, or go into the fucking Dongai.
That's right. We can toss his dead body in there and see if we can get it back. I mean, yeah, would be good.
We'll just pull some ass hat bullshit out of our fucking ass too,
We'll figure it out. I mean,
that's what they done.
But it's just like, I don't know. Like it's hard for me to like this so far, just because I feel like it's not really going anywhere. I know it doesn't affect the story, so I can't get connected to it. And then I think about it like when I'm a kid, I'd be like, would I sit there and actually watch this? Most of the time, I'd be like, this is kind of boring.
So before our good friend Sam passed, he said one good thing. He's like, if Bleach had fucking ended at the Eisen arc, it would have been goated.
Well, no, he didn't say at the Eisen arc. He said right at the first season, after they invade the Soul Society and get Rukia back.
Because we're getting the 10-year reunion, whatever endings where they're retelling the whole story in trailer at the outro, and we see the part like where Uryu is in that fucking badass armor and fucking Glax Mayuri. Like all that shit was so fucking cool. And if people were giving up their powers, borderline dying shit, like. All this like bloody gory shit.
Do you think he had a plan for what was going to happen?
I can tell you he fucking did not. I am like just.
Well, I mean, I'm grateful because I love the Espada and everything that happened afterwards. Yeah,
it's dope, but I don't think like when Sam started this podcast, it was very apparent like they had no idea what the fuck they were doing at the beginning. Like this is very much the watering the plant and see where it goes, and says, oh fuck, we have a bunch of fucking weeds over here.
Clearly he had an idea for Eisen using the hollows.
Yeah,
and so just by that I am like, oh, he had an idea for the Espadas and all that stuff. But it's just like we had to take a huge gap because of the bounce, and let him do his creative thing.
Yeah, and
then we finally got the Iran card, the hollows, everything, the Espadas, and then we wrapped up that final arc, and now it's just like, where do we go now? Like. We pretty much should have left it with Ichigo losing his powers.
And I even liked when he lost his powers in this arc, and it was kind of like,
a little somber.
It was somber, but Ichigo's like, I'm going to do everything
He's okay with it,
And everyone's like, gang power. And then they immediately realize, we're pretty much fucking useless.
Yep, so they're like, get him to plan B.
But I think, just like all the time jokes and the fact that, the REGAI are overpowered, we've beaten this fucking topic to
way too much.
It's a dead horse. But one thing I have to bring up that was probably my favorite part of this whole thing, and it was phenomenal. Orihime's tits are just absolutely fucking
Gotta
massive.
go full degen,
And
okay.
I don't know if they just said, you know what, we cannot give them what they want, which is a clear, coherent story. We're just going to draw the tits huge.
The bombshell broad came out at that time.
And she went down
she
like
went
3
to Victoria's
sizes.
Secret and was just like, let's do it.
She's like, in some episodes, she's like, what? I don't even know fucking women's sizes, so I apologize. But she's like a 3 or a 2 or a 3. And then in
what
this,
are we talking about? Waist?
like waist, whatever the fuck. Just she is.
I'd say she's like around at 32, maybe at 34.
And those are men's sizes,
most.
but those
no,
are
no,
like,
no.
those are like
I'm
inches.
talking about this part
the
right here.
bust.
So
the
I'm
talking like gut. She has like she's
she's definitely like
sized.
a 2 or 3.
But in these last 2 episodes, it's like watching a
She's
fucking
got a cinched waist.
It's a One Piece episode. It's like watching Nami, and you're like, okay, they're just doing
Nami's
references.
hot. What are you talking about?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying disproportionately skinny with huge milk-filled banaka honkers.
Oh, milk-filled.
Well,
she got knocked up?
I mean, really, Ichigo's got nothing better to do. He has no powers. He can fucking do whatever he wants at this point. He can settle down.
She could use Santa and Kesha and reject this.
Oh, God. I think that's our segue to fucking get out of here.
You let this happen.
I guess I did. Is there anything you want to bring up? Like,
aside from just how meh it's starting to pick up, and I'm a little bit more excited about it. But it's just so hard to full commit to it now.
It's rough because like when we record these, it's like we've already done like a full day's work. Some of us, like Sam,
some
had
people
no
don't
sleep.
sleep and decide to take 3 energy drinks and get by.
And then we show up and it's just kind of like, okay, let's get through it.
He's 10 minutes into the first episode. All right, you guys can handle it.
Just fucking dips out and goes dies in the backyard. It's like he dug his own grave, literally.
Yeah.
But I did feel like it was picking up. I'm hoping I think we've got like maybe at 10 more episodes. I feel like it's not going to be much longer. I feel like maybe even the next 5 might finish it. Hopefully.
I hope so. I think I think people were saying it was like 35, 40 episodes. And
I want to see the Fullbring arc because I've never seen it. I don't know much about it.
I've
I know
read it.
It's some shenanigans.
A lot of people dislike it.
They just kind of make up cool characters and they hang out until Thousand Year Blood War arc. But so that's pretty much it. Like it's still up in the air. We have been burnt by so many fucking fillers in this show that we still just don't know.
Would you say that the Bleach fillers are worse than the Naruto fillers?
I don't know. That's a nostalgia factor. I don't really. I think when I had Naruto, I never like watched it live, so I never had to worry about fillers.
Yeah.
So I came back and watched stuff, and I gotta be honest, I don't think I've actually ever finished Naruto. Like at this point, I just watch clips on YouTube, and I've gotten the fucking.
You're
gist
like,
of
okay, I know what it is.
Yeah.
Sasuke loves Naruto. Boom.
Exactly, and you've gotten everything you needed, and then now Boruto, we just watched the cool fight scenes that have been adapted.
Boruto at all.
Me and Sam will just watch like the 2-minute fight that they uploaded on Crunchyroll.
The good bit, and that's it.
Thanks it. So
I hope Bleach
it's a flip
gets
of a coin.
that kind of like treatment though.
I
where
do
it's
too.
Like, it's fantastic. The fighting's a lot more fluid. They rework some of the whole back and forth when they talk. Between each slash, because slash talk
I have a try. I don't know if that'll happen because I think that's Bleach.
I know
that is like the quintessential Bleach.
I know they're
gonna
stay true to it, but I hope they fluff it up.
Yeah, I think like if Jujutsu Kaisen is inspired by Bleach and it did so fucking fantastically.
Bleach is inspired by Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, I would hope that they take lessons like learn from your your youngers so they can like grow kind of thing. It's not a fucking phrase.
I have no idea
what
the hell he's saying.
But like. Don't just be the old dog not learning new tricks. Like
you can still learn from
the
new kids.
So I'm hoping that something like that happens. I'm not trying to create sacrilege or anything like that. I hope I don't get fucking talk no jutsu'd off. Like it's gonna be lame. But let's fucking call it. This has been Bleach Boys. We're Weebs Guild. This is an audio podcast, so we're on all the audio websites, all the podcast websites like Spotify, all that. Of course, you can watch us on YouTube and just follow us on Instagram at the Weebs Guild. Same with Twitter. We also have a Discord. We'll put it all on the link in the description.
All links will be
down
in the description.
Yeah, it'll be dope. And like seriously, the Discord pops off. I feel like we are of kindred spirits there.
I had to mute you guys.
If we had watched these episodes with those guys, I think they would be saying the same shit. Probably
it would get worse.
It would be a lot more vitriol.
Yeah.
But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope this is worth it without Sam. I hope
let us know how you guys want us to bring back Sam. I mean,
yeah.
we'll figure it out. Like if we can't get the Dragon Balls, we'll go see the Soul King or something.
Yeah, something. And hopefully that's where we go. But thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.